birthday, Elmo? What is it?
Isn't that the guy that drives around the wiener truck?
Yeah. Is it?
Well, no, it's from the Oscars.
Oh, the Oscars.
Those Oscars. Those Oscars.
Those Oscars. Okay.
You know, I had one of those little weenie whistles when I was a kid.
I still got one. I belong to the Weenie organization.
Ah. Do I dare ask?
Do we have a... No, we're not taking this call already? Somebody's starting to...
No, it starts early.
Anyway, this week's High Five Zingers and Doofuses is only heard here on the Kenosha Today Show. And it gets even better, folks, for those who might have forgotten. Tomorrow at noon, each and every Sunday, you can tune in here at AM 1050 and WIP and listen to the replay of this show. Now that's radio experience, right?
I've asked that question before, too.
Yeah.
I have that question asked me every Friday night. Yes?
No.
And then you can watch the replay of this finely tuned, professionally produced excuse for a radio show. Little Ricky, what happened here?
That just struck me the wrong way.
What, finally produced? Time Warner Cable's Channel 14, Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 6. And talk about programming genius. They would rather play nothing in the Sunday 6 o'clock, which we've been airing for 22 years. But I don't. That's above my pay grade. I don't make those.
Totally above your pay grade.
And everybody can now sign up with the thousands of our fans and listeners who have now joined the Kenosha Today Nation and liked us on Facebook. And you can visit our new Kenosha Today website, KenoshaToday.com. And here you go. Every Friday afternoon, about 3 p.m., we get together. You know, he's got is this, are you nodding meaning
Yeah.
you can take this? All right. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Oh, good morning.
Excuse me. Little Ricky, this is for you.
Apple pie!
Yeah, I'm so excited. My good friend Rick is in there.
Shirley,
Hi, Rick.
how are you doing, sweetheart?
Oh, come on. Let's not.
Well, I'm here, so it's good to hear you on the show.
Did you go out to the garage this
exciting.
morning? Did you get out to the garage?
Pardon?
Did you get out to the garage to check the pots?
Not today yet. No.
Shirley, big news, and I'm sure this is going to affect your life. A big pot bust on the rise along I-94. Wisconsin wondering whether the interstate corridor is becoming a major smuggling pipeline for marijuana and other drugs. Minnesota troopers in Wisconsin seized 2,600 pounds of marijuana. Boy, you must have had a good week out in the garage here.
Wow.
The grow light's really working for you.
Can't afford the electric bill, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Property taxes are $3,000. My electric bill's about 10 grand a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got to get out there in a little while to the garage. Yeah.
Hey, I really got to ask you this question. This is a couple. I thought it was in the South. They're offering $3,500 to anybody that can talk to their 8-year-old kid and explain the birds and the bees situation to them. And since you've had vast experience in the upper rafters of the Roosevelt Theater, I thought, who's more qualified to pick up 3,500 big ones?
Yeah, I could do it.
Suppose I was not Uncle Scotty, but little snot-nosed kid, 8-year-old with the stuff dripping down my nose, and you're going to explain to me about the birds and the bees. What would be the first thing you'd tell me?
Oh boy!
I understand the boy part.
Be careful.
Huh?
Be careful.
I'm 8 years old.
Now, kids nowadays at 8 years old, you would be surprised what they know.
Did you hear what Elmo said? He says, "Hey, little 8-year-old boy, you want to look up my poodle skirt?" That'll probably teach me a lot, won't you think?
Yeah. 8 years old, they know a lot now, and I'm telling you, they really do.
Tell them keep their pants zipped up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to make it to 9 if that's the case. This is how little 8-year-old boys go over to the other side and become little 8-year-old girls and get all confused because they don't have the guidance, the technical knowledge that a person like you has.
Well, I'd have to think carefully about it before I would really say anything to him.
Okay, let's rework it. Maybe the little 8-year-old boy can teach you something.
That's what I'm saying. Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised. You'd be surprised. What they know.
That's what I told my grandson, who was 12 at the time, and his father's long gone. So I thought, as the grandfather, I'd go in and have this talk with him. I says, okay, Dylan, you're 12, and is there anything, I'm going to have this talk about the opposite sex. And he goes, yeah, Grandpa, what do you want to know? That pretty much ended that discussion.
That's the truth of it nowadays, positively.
My question, Shirley, is how do your lunchroom conversations go when you work there with the kids?
At the school?
Yeah. Weren't you giving them guidance?
Kids, I loved working at that school, at Lincoln
what school is this?
I loved it. They would come in there and tell us all their troubles, and we just would listen, and it was really an experience working with those children. I loved
this is
it.
Such
I
warm.
just loved it.
This is such warm and fuzzy.
I know, but I'm telling the truth.
No wonder they led the league in food fights over there.
No, we never did. It was very organized. We had no food fights. They were very happy to get their food.
What kind of fun is this? What kind of school is this?
I know. Well, that's the truth. We never had any trouble over there. We really didn't. No, it was very organized.
Well,
The
Shirley,
lunchroom was
as usual,
always,
we have a friend here.
When I worked
Shirley!
there, it was very organized.
As usual, you brought nothing to the table, and I have another call
Well, I'm
to take.
telling you that. It's the truth.
All right. We don't want to hear the truth. We can't handle the truth.
I know. And I'm so glad that Rick is there.
Okay.
And Terry, they come over there.
Okay.
Wait for apple pie.
We go long, way back.
Bye-bye, Shirley. I got to move on here. This is
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Shirley.
Oh, God. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning. How's it going?
Very good. I haven't heard from you in a while, Eric.
No, I'm in Mexico.
Well, that's probably why.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go see Captain Mike today. I talk to him every couple of days, but oh man, what a mess.
You talking about the weather or his house or him?
We already know that one.
He called.
I called him up the other morning. I said, Captain, what's going on? He said, oh, Eric, I'm just sitting out on my balcony with my legs spread open, letting the wind air me out.
Visualization.
Yes, I just had this visual picture.
Oh my God!
And he's got like a balcony. It's like a balcony. No, in his boxer shorts. He was in his boxer shorts, so not in his robe, not in his pink robe.
Did you hear? Did you hear what happened to his house there? It was the big fire.
No.
Yeah, a big fire,
man,
and we finally got the windows boarded up. And according to the fire inspector, the fire was started in an accelerant, and apparently his boxer shorts were laying in the corner, and they were very inflammable.
Well, I gave Joyce the key to my car, and I said, Joyce, if there's any fires or any destruction, just make sure you get my car out of there for me.
Okay, I got some other bad news to tell you. You know that fence that used to be around the boathouse?
Uh-huh.
Well, there was a slight accident, and your car went through there, and you remember, where the harbor is?
Right.
Your car don't float.
Oh, man. That's okay. There's enough debris floating in the harbor that things should stay afloat.
Okay, well.
Oh, man. This morning I'm getting ready to go it takes about 45 minutes or so to go see Captain Mike, but I was outside cutting some coconuts open and poured some fresh coconut
What are you working for, National Geographic?
and I but the best part is, I had to put a nice 3, shakers of tequila in there, too.
Yeah.
What a great morning drink.
Did you drink it out of the coconut shell?
Of course I did. Well, I mean, at first I started to, I'm like, man, I hate getting these chunks of fiber in my mouth. So that's why
fiber is good for you.
A big glass. So,
yeah.
Oh man, you guys, I almost feel scared. I got Captain Mike on one side of me, and I got Lenny on the other side of me. I think
that'd be enough to scare anybody.
You want us to send Irish Ruth down too?
Right? No, that's what No. I used to feel safe. Now I'm feeling like. Well, I tell you, the damn Canadians that come down here too, and all they do is just smoke marijuana and get Well, I mean, I'll get drunk with them. That's okay, but I don't get.
Hey.
No. I don't partake anymore.
Hey, let me ask you this, Eric.
Smoking.
Yeah, right. When the Canadians see Captain Mike, how do you explain that? I mean, these people coming all the way from Canada.
On that one.
Huh? Is this under the new Trump plan?
Yeah.
Are we going to build a wall to keep this guy in there?
They're coming out in a boot.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was a comment made about, with the wall being built, they weren't going to let people not like me, but like Captain Mike, and there's this other lady I know, Cheryl, they can't get back in the country, I guess.
Well, you let Captain Mike call us later, and we'll do the best we can to bring him back.
I'm sure he's listening right now. I'm sure he's been eating pretty healthy. I talked to him. He says, "Oh, I got my yogurt and my blueberries." And
That's a ruse. You know what? That's the biggest line. What his eating is healthy is down to about 3 Big Macs a day with the bacon and the special sauce and a bucket of fries. That's his eating sensibly.
Well, not down here. Down here, you just walk to the corner and get a bunch of bacon wrapped hot dogs.
No, then you do a lot of reading in the afternoon, right?
My kind of place.
Yeah.
Me? Hell no. I'm always out getting my hands into whatever I can get into.
Oh, we don't want to go there. Eric. We don't want to go
I'm trying to keep life interesting.
There's some,
But yeah,
You got the dump button ready over there?
Weather, the beautiful girls. I mean, the beautiful weather, the sand. There's all kinds of all over the place. They dress. Well, I'm not going to tell you how they dress, but you can just, and they're not even dressing up for nothing. They just like to look good.
Hey, let me ask you this.
It makes me ask myself, why the hell am I back? Well, I'm not back in Kenosha, but why am I going back to Kenosha?
You just described 80 degrees, balmy winds.
86.
86. Weather is not my
70
forte.
at night.
70 at night, and tequila and vodka and a healthy diet and good-looking gals. What would you think? What makes you think that would interest guys like us?
Well, the thing is there's the cartel here, which is a little scarier than Captain Mike and Lenny. So just a little bit.
Excuse me, Elmo, take a memo. Get us on the next flight down.
I got a great deal, $263 round trip, nonstop from Milwaukee. Well, I tell you what, the trip, I almost said the F word, but the trip here, they got us to the end of the runway. I'm doing good. I'm catching myself.
Thank you.
We got to the end of the runway, and we sat there for an hour because this cold front moved in. I'm sure it was from Canada, because they like to.
They're coming down there, yeah.
Anyway, so. But I tell you what, I've never been on an airplane that after they de-iced us so many times, that guy, the pilot, he just put the throttle all the way down and we went straight up. I don't think I've ever been on an airplane that went so high in my life. Even if I was high getting on the airplane, I don't think
I was going to say, the plane or you?
Hey, you want to get high? You want to get high? Spend the whole day with Captain Mike. now I gotta go. All right.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
Have fun, guys. Talk to you later.
Boy, would we be interested in scantily clad girls weighing 110 pounds, wearing little, barely nothing, and sitting in 86 degrees? 10 minutes tops, right, Domo?
Yeah.
And maybe we can go on a road trip. You want to come with us?
Road trip down to Mexico?
Oh, you guys are married. Your wives would never let
Would
you
you
do
have
that.
that all at Barter Manor?
Yeah, right. A lot of Canadians trying to break down that barrier. a lot of fat gals from Sturtevant trying to get in there too. You're married, aren't you, little Ricky?
Yes, I am.
How many years, not counting today?
34, 33, somewhere in there.
Oh boy, is your wife listening?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I know she's saying, you don't remember when we got married. You know how that goes.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
There's a special place in heaven reserved for you.
See, as I was trying to tell your colleague from Antioch here, Illinois is not a community property state. You know that, don't you?
Right.
See, so there'd be advantages for you two guys to carpool it and live up here in Wisconsin with the cheeseheads. And so when you get divorced, everything's 50-50, even Steven. Right? Even Steven, that's what the judge told him. Even Steven. Yeah.
Several $million later.
Anyway, what I started to say was every Friday afternoon we get together for getting silly with Sally and or Scotty, depending on which bathroom I'm using that afternoon. You know, they had this transgender lawsuit here.
Did you file one of those so you could use the other bathroom?
I just go.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't. Well, if I go to the women's,
Yeah.
my name and number's on the wall there.
For a good time, 86753.
Well, unfortunately, it's on the men. Unfortunately, it's on the men's too.
Yes.
If anybody in the Kenosha Nation wants to host a Friday night production meeting, give me a call, 262-652-6767. We can get together and discuss the very high standards that we go by.
Very high standards.
Yeah, we set the bar low and taper off from there. Hey, good morning, on Kenosha today.
Advantages for you two guys. The carpool has been.
That's
Scott, is that you?
Oh, who might this be? Is this Irish Ruth?
No, it's Irish Italian Captain Mike.
Italian captain, the Italian stallion.
Well, Irish too.
Hey,
I can't wait. I sit here trying to cool my motors out. I get accused of something. Then the other thing, I get the hot pants and burns my house down. I just can't win, man.
life pretty much sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you're on a roll.
I'm on a roll, yeah.
So, what little enchilada have you hooked up with down there?
No, actually, I've been feeling a little funny. You know, my stomach's a little funny.
Well,
I'm going to go look at a volcano in a couple of days and some other stuff. So I'm just trying to get feeling a little better.
Maybe it's the bottle of tequila you pour down every day.
Yeah, it sure could be.
And
it's so easy.
You haven't caught any rare social disease down there, have you?
No, nothing. No, just call it your show, man. I don't know.
That's pretty close. Hey,
well, go ahead.
I was going to say the plans of rebuilding the house are coming along.
Oh, golly.
The boards are still up
my.
on the windows, and the fire marshal, they pretty much cleaned out the inside. So if you're bringing...
Dobermans are dead, or you ate them or something. You gave them to the Roadkill Museum or what?
Yeah, well, hey, you can write that off on your taxes.
Anything to help business.
And
Sure.
poor Eric, I feel bad because he let Joyce use his car. And remember that, like I was telling him a couple minutes ago, you know that fence that used to be by the boathouse there, that wooden? Well, that's not there no more.
Yeah.
And do you know his car don't float? Either does yours.
Oh, golly.
You know what's on top of his car? There's a little tricycle with a little orange thing sticking up on it. So, other than that, things are going pretty good here. It's going to be 50 degrees today. We have no snow on the ground. The stuff is thawing out, so...
Yeah. Well, pretty good. What about the pianos? Anybody do anything with them pianos?
Not that I've heard of. You know, they were supposed to be, the deadline was February 9th. They extended it to the 16th. And the last I heard this week is no one has signed up to pay $500 to paint a piano. However, we have our own piano that we are going to put in the boathouse parking lot, and we're going to go as a write-in. Whether, you know, we could win by default. We could be the only ones.
Yeah.
But apparently you got to have
By default, yeah.
you have to have a written application, and you have to put the logo that you're doing. And we're just going to take a couple buckets of paint and latex outside, exterior latex. And
exterior, yes.
And Captain Ron's our Spider's our painter guy, and we're going to go there and we're going to win this thing. We're giving 110%.
If you're the only contestant, you got a chance.
That's probably our only chance. What the heck?
Good thought.
I haven't won too many things in my life, you know that. So.
Well, the governorship that time. No, wait a minute. That was the mayor, wasn't it?
Yeah. Twice. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just for those that are. So, and I know you.
We'll always have Paris. Hey, look, I'm going to go because I got a drink here, and I got one hand in my ear because I can't hear you, and the other on the phone. I need another hand so I can take a drink.
Rough life.
Okay. Who dialed the phone?
I got it on speed dial.
Oh, you have us.
I just pushed the button.
Oh, okay. All right. Push the button, man. Hang up.
Okay, you guys.
You guys.
Have fun.
Boy,
See you, Mike.
you talk about
see ya.
a genius. He's got he just may come across like a mope, but
Right.
he's got it all up here.
Firing on
like
all
it.
cylinders.
Everywhere else.
Right.
I think we got to take a break, don't we?
We might as well.
For some, who's on the weather today?
I think it's still Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
The way the wind's blowing anymore.
Right.
That's right. Okay. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Sounds good.
when you're hiring.
Eddie Barter, and welcome to the March 3rd edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WIP, spreading the love to over 1.4 million listeners here at Camp Happy Face. Also bringing you gas trolleys, backyard beavers, and saving the Kenosha Today Nation from all the perils here in Do-Over Kenosha. Again, we invite you to join the thousands of fans who have already signed up and liked us on Facebook. And you want to talk about warmth and kindness, right, Elmo? I mean, the people just warm and fuzzy is what we're all about.
Oh, yeah. I've seen your posts on Facebook. I'm not seeing the warm and fuzzy. Unless you're talking about a guy holding his weenie.
You're talking about warm and blurry.
Right.
Visit us on the web at kenoshaday.com. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Joining us this morning, Elmo Schneider is here.
Good morning.
And also with us this morning, teen heartthrob, little Ricky Johnson's here.
Hi.
Pretending he knows what he's... I thought you said you had experience. One call from Shirley, and already you've gone off the deep end. Or two.
What can I say?
Kenosha Today.
These flashbacks of my old radio days.
Yeah, flashbacks. That's what I get. They call them nightmares nowadays.
Yeah.
The Kenosha State Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie, is off working, staining the fences.
Probably staining a fence.
Staining
yes.
the fence.
Without a paintbrush. You might add.
His wife's with him, I think, right? I assume his wife's with him. If he ain't, well, he's got some splaining to do. And board operating, the Kenosha State train wreck this morning, hanging on our every word. Wacky Wayne joins us all the way from Antioch.
Yes, all the way.
All the way. Stay strong, little trooper.
Across all the hills and dales. Yes, far, far away.
Hi, Wayne.
Coming up after the 11:30 break, our weekly editorial segment this week's, it's As the Wiener Turns, which is probably the Oscar Mayer Wiener. Okay, Ricky.
I can't whistle into the mic. I don't have my whistle with me.
This doesn't, you just, like.
Well, I did, but you said I could do something better.
Yeah, pretend you're having ecstasy with your wife. All right, one more time. As the Oscar turns. I can just
You
hear
invited him to come in.
This is why he opted to come in here.
Right.
Train wreck.
You know what? Your wife's going to pull off some of this same stuff I get. Do I got to stay awake for this?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, no one in the first half hour has won this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning experience, let us guide you through all the options that are still available. Find out how you can take advantage and use the new tax code to your advantage and save the maximum dollars for your family. Give me a call, 262-652-6767, and set up a free consultation. And if you happen to mention today's secret word, we're going to send you a $20 Boathouse gift card. I think we sent one last week to Brandon, I think.
Yes.
One. See, I got it here.
Right. He guessed the secret word.
Also, this show is being recorded for training purposes, so we can replay this nonsense tomorrow at noon, right here in AM 1050 WLAP, and it also gives Wacky Wayne here a chance to blip out any words that may be inappropriate and prepare us for any upcoming litigation.
Right. Luckily, the hate mail's been on a minimum now. I'm very, very happy about that.
I don't get in the mail. I get it hand delivered.
Right. Well,
Mr. Wertzler.
you keep poking certain people, and they keep swinging back.
You just get them from a process server.
Process server, yeah.
Right.
They're going, we're cutting out Wertzler, the middleman, coming right to the front. Forget that. And also special thanks to my good friend Elmo Schneider. You can find the Kenosha Today Show 365 days a year, 24/7 up on YouTube. Man, that's just throwing it out there.
I know.
There's not a moment that goes by in this world that you can't find a show on YouTube.
Right.
Preserved by Google for all eternity.
Yes. And also special, I said that already. So after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category, which is the top 10 ways to try and improve the ratings of this show. And well, I had to limit it to only 10.
Limited it to only 10. Okay.
And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And to be eligible, no one from your household could have won any contest on WIP within the last 60 days. We'll now clear the phone lines.
Clear.
And I'm going to read the question, which is a very sophisticated, intelligent, multiple-choice question. And you will then get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. And after that, you will hear the ding. Look at Ricky. I thought you said you had experience. You can't even ding the dong. First caller to correctly answer the question wins a Kenosha today $25 gift certificate to the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, located at 4917 7th Avenue here in Kenosha. Open Monday through Friday. Okay, practice time's over. If you haven't figured it out by now. Featuring, they're open Monday through Fridays at 11 a.m., featuring weekly lunch and dinner specials. And enjoy a beautiful waterfront view. The pond is now fully thawed. Little duckies going around too. And you can see Eric's car and Mike's thing floating in there. So
Ice shanties are also
ice shanties all submerged. Stop in for their big Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast special, Bloody Mary specials, beginning at 7 a.m. until noon. And if you're planning a party or a banquet, funeral lunch, call Joyce 262-654-9922, or you can find them on the web at theboathousekenosha.com. Now, you've never had experience like this with these kind of contests, I'm sure.
Not like that, no.
Okay.
I've done a bunch of contests, but not like that.
Not like this. No one has. Here's the sophisticated question. What is the number one reason to subscribe to the Kenosha News? We're going to get an article. They kind of are revamping the news. What is the number one reason to subscribe to the Kenosha News? A, to read about news, weather, and sports. B, to use it as a filler for all of Kenosha's potholes. Or C, primarily to line your kitty litter box. 262-694-1050. First caller, what is the number one reason to subscribe to the Kenosha News? A, to read about news, weather, and sports. B, to use it as a filler for all of Kenosha's potholes. Or C, primarily to line your kitty litter box. We have a caller, Wayne?
It does appear as such.
Good morning. You're in Kenosha today.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Jerry.
Jerry?
Jerry.
Jerry, okay. Jerry, you didn't win in the last 60 days, did you?
I know. It was the end. I didn't use the thing.
Okay, all right. All right, Jerry. What is the number one reason to subscribe to the Kenosha News? A, to read about news, weather, and sports. B, to use it as a filler for all of Kenosha's potholes. Or C, primarily to line your kitty litter box. Jerry.
I'd say B.
B, to use it as a filler for Kenosha's potholes. Yes, sir, that's a correct answer. Boy, there was some tough. That was a toughie. I mean, you had 3 good choices,
Yeah.
except for A. That nobody takes the Kenosha News to read news, weather, and sports. So the last 2 were pretty close.
I'd have guessed all the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's going on in Jerry's world today?
Not a darn thing. The sun is out and there's no snow on the ground. The wife is happy. Not happy.
And your name's not on the front page of the Kenosha News at the bottom.
No.
Makes you pretty happy.
On page 3.
I had a question that I asked Shirley. Maybe I'll ask you. Suppose you have this couple down south is offering $3,500 to have this special talk with with their 8-year-old son about the birds and the bees deal. What'd be the first thing you'd tell them? Don't mention my name.
I don't know.
What good are you, Jer? All right. Well, I'll tell you. That's the wrong one. Off the air again. Wacky Wayne's going to get your name, address, and phone number, which I have, but he'll give it to him again, and I'll send this out to you Monday. Thanks again. Well, he's doing that. I got to read this. You know, more businesses are moving into the Kenosha area. Here's an engineering firm moving into the Pleasant Prairie, bringing 200 jobs to Pleasant Prairie, along with all the other places that are moving in here. And what better way to seek new qualified hires than to take advantage of the very low Kenosha State advertising rates and increase your ability to fill these positions? There are approximately 1.4 million people living in the WIP listening area, reaching as far south as North Chicago, west to Lake Geneva, and to the northern suburbs of Milwaukee. So if you're looking to fill jobs such as service types, truck drivers, general laborers, warehouse workers, to include any skilled job openings, give me a call at 262-652-6767. We'll get you all the information. We'll continue the efforts to help you connect with potential new employees. 262-652-6767. You know, everybody's moving in. This is we've got Foxconn and Uline Amazon and all these new places moving in here. This is a hot place to be.
Except for one thing, this entity is moving out.
Who's moving out?
It was 262. What was the middle?
Oh, this WIP. Hello. I guess I didn't look at it that way, but at any rate,
Thanks, Jerry.
I could actually go shopping and stop and see you when you're down there.
well, yeah. The plan is to have this window and people from the mall come in and.
Can we make faces at you?
This is not the Brookfield Zoo.
Well, I don't know. I heard that was part of the whole deal.
Yeah, just don't use any.
Everybody was calling saying they'll come and make faces.
Yeah, well, bring money. A couple things that we want to talk about. Hey, Oprah. Did you hear about Oprah?
No.
You know, after she was at the Grammys? At the Grammys, or some award show not too long ago, she gave this.
She said she wanted to be president.
No, some other people said that they wanted her to
Right.
be president. Well, now Oprah's talking to God to see if God's going to give her the okie dokie to run for president.
Can you imagine the
Give you
phone
the
bill?
okie dokie to run for mayor?
Huh?
Didn't God give you the okie dokie to run
Yeah,
for mayor?
yeah. A couple of thousand people said that.
I bet it goes a lot like this.
To my Lord and my Savior. I have sinned against you, my Lord.
That was my acceptance speech.
Yeah, right?
Can you imagine her phone bill?
Yeah.
She said she's got a couple people that are ready to give her $1 billion if she wants to run, but she's waiting for God to get back to her. I wonder how you do that. Do you have to go on God.com or something is there a special hotline for that? But we'll just have to see. I don't think she whatever. I can't see her governing. She's a popular person, but as we've learned over the years, you don't have to know how to govern. You just have to have money and have the people vote for you.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, well, that's the great system we live in. Here's the thing: Simmons Field may add a woman's restroom. Now, I'm going to address this in the zingers, but it's a bid for $123,000. Now, our illustrious public works director Shelley Billingsley said she sent out 25 requests and only one came back, which was Rash Construction, and I applaud them. But this was in the capital improvement budget back in November. Why do you wait till February to send out the request for bid? And my other thing is, Elmo and I talked about this. So they're putting in a woman's bathroom. What else guys got to do? Go out by the tracks and pee on the railroad tracks back there?
Girls used to do it back then, too.
Yeah.
Don't pee on the third rail.
Yeah. Who was that gal? Sally Ormson was her name? She had a book. Was it Sally Ormson? She was a great woman's motivation speaker. She says, "Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's still raining." That was the name of her book. But that, I kind of got the squirrel thing and went off.
I know. What else is new? Yeah.
So anyway, that's
Squirrel!
and then they want this done by the May 25th home opener. I'm going to address this in depth come high fives, singers, and doofuses, but I don't understand why the women get preferential treatment. Now, I'm not a sexist.
You could always change and identify
Don't
with the
worry.
women's bathroom out there.
Don't worry,
right?
you just got to be Sally that day. Don't worry.
Yeah.
about it.
I'll go
You'll be
to the
fine.
front row. And part of the bid is they have to put my name and phone number on the wall
You'll probably.
in a plaque.
Here we go.
So that you can't, they can't chip it off or chisel it off. It's got to stay there for an indefinite
In
length of time.
perpetuity?
Perpetuities, yeah. Perpetuities. That's me. I'm all about perpetuities.
I bet. I've heard that about you.
Yeah, well, even in Antioch,
Your name gets around.
Yeah.
perpetuities. Big changes at the Kenosha News. I wanted to talk about this. Probably would have been helpful if I talked about this article prior to going to the City in Jeopardy question.
That would have made sense, but we can talk about
Well,
it.
we had
after.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
matter with you?
Right.
Wait till Marilyn calls in. She's going to take you to task. I've been want to listen to this for 10 o'clock. I can't make sense. What are you guys talking about?
Right.
Well, when you figure it out, call us back, right?
Yeah.
All right. Kenosha News. This is an open letter to our valued readers and advertisers by Randy Rickman. And they laid off a bunch of writers guilds or what do you call them?
Reporters.
That a boy. And they're claiming that the disruption of traditional media by web, mobile, and social media platforms is part of this. The ever-changing consumer and reader habits, The complete disruption of traditional retailing, driven primarily by online shopping and Amazon. And so the loss and closure of significant number of local and national businesses, all former Kenosha News advertisers. And so they're going to bring in they eliminated the managing editor position, and they're bringing in they're having a national search for an executive editor. What does an executive editor do? He just gets a better office and wears a fancy tie, or?
I have no idea.
I don't think they do either. But at any rate, we'll have to see how that works out. But you talk about Amazon, the effect that Amazon has. Amazon stock is trading at $1,500 a share. So I think Amazon's going to end up owning the world, but that's just me. If anybody wants to comment on that, 262.
Can I make a comment?
Sure can.
All the news you need to see is at the Kenosha Today Facebook page.
There you go.
Good to know.
And what title do you have?
Executive editor.
Executive editor.
And our national search, you should have seen, guys, you should have seen our national search. We sent out letters to the Boathouse, Pete's Place, and TG's. That was our national search. We wanted to keep it in-house, keep it close. And here, look at this guy.
We did a regional search, not a national. Yeah,
within a 6-block radius.
Right.
So,
K-Dog is going to take the job after he retires from
yeah, he's
industrial military complex.
Yeah, speaking of Pete's Place, I better read this before we get off. Pete's Place is soon to be known as the Union Park Tavern, located at 4520 8th Avenue, right across the street west of Union Park. And Pete's Place is the home of the Friday Night Fish Fry, offering a number of fantastic fish dinners, serving only on Fridays from 3 to 9 p.m. Emma, you were there last night. It was packed, you said. You couldn't even.
Lines outside. So.
And now on Saturdays, also from 3 to 9, it's Roasted Chicken Night, offering a variety of chicken dinners. Also on all day and night on Tuesdays is what?
Tuesday, they have new stuff. They have pasties.
Pasties.
All day is starting
Party time,
at 11 in the morning, and homemade soup.
Homemade soup, all right. Soup. And then you stop in on Sunday mornings from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for their special breakfast menu. And you can also carry the special carry-out hotline at 262-652-0978. I just had a thought. Is that the number you call the carry-out hotline? carry home hotline?
Whatever, they got to carry me out. That's what happens.
That's soon to be the Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue. Let's see, we talked about Oprah. We talked about trying to explain to an 8-year-old what to have that special talk about the birds and the bees. I don't understand. Here's a couple. Do you think, now you guys are parents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're all parents too, but maybe not in the same thing.
Right.
But it sounds like this couple would be more closer to your age. Would you be considered shirking your parental duties in hiring somebody and paying them $3,500 to teach a kid?
I mean, if you're that uncomfortable having the conversation with them.
How'd you have the kid in the first place?
Right, exactly. Did you rent it from a rental company? Have it shipped in from overseas?
Yes.
I mean,
here's the manual,
right.
Alex. Here's the
right.
You read. Here's what brought you here.
Tab
Page
A,
10.
slot B. Got it. Okay.
No,
why are there storks at our house?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it poses a good question. Why would you spend $3,500? And I don't know what's magic about $3,500. I'd have done it for $510. And in $510.
Okay.
And the kid would have had a much broader education.
Maybe that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. The holy moly story, and this kid, he would learn at 8 years old. This is like my grandson said when I told that holy moly story. I might as well tell it again. We're sitting there after golf, and they were 8 and 10, the two boys, on a Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock. And so they couldn't sit by the table. They had to sit and have kiddie cocktails right by the bar.
Right.
So all of a sudden, this beautiful-looking girl comes in. She was from a wedding. They were just stopping there. Gorgeous-looking gal with cleavage. So a grandpa was on his beginning of his second big soda, you see. And I turned around. I just instinctively said, "Holy moly!" And the boy said, "What's holy moly?" And I said, "Boys, that right there, that's holy moly." Didn't think nothing more about it. So then my 10-year-old grandson says, "Why don't you think about homeschooling us?" And I said, "I don't think anybody's going to sign off on that deal." He says, "Oh, this would be great." He says, "We can get suntan, we can go off, and we can come down here, and every afternoon." He goes, "Who needs the 4th grade?" So
Smart kid.
So the next morning, they're on home watching TV on MTV, and Britney Spears comes on with the scantily clad, and the boys are going, "Holy moly, holy moly!" My daughter hears this, comes running in, says, "What's holy moly?" Well, Grandpa Scott says, "That there is holy moly." So she calls me, and she says, "What are you doing to my sons?" And I says, "Well, they wanted me to homeschool them. I'm just giving them a well-rounded education here."
Got to start somewhere.
Click.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now the kids...
You haven't seen them in... How old are they
years?
now?
Yeah, right.
Well, Owen's 15, and he's dating.
Yeah.
And I saw him...
A lot of holy moly going on.
Holy moly.
All right.
I saw him, and you remember that at my other granddaughter's birthday party a couple weeks ago. And I said, "You want any tips now that you're dating?" He said, "No, I think I can do this just as well without I got this covered, right?" Well, anyway, when we get back, I know you wanted to talk about the dark stories. You want to talk about that now?
Yeah,
You want to talk about it later?
we got a little time before this. I just want to say, speaking of dating and stuff,
Okay.
I just got to say hello to my parents that celebrated their 61st wedding anniversary yesterday.
Wow,
So
61.
my mother said, in all those years, the word divorce has never been mentioned. Murder, yes, but no divorce.
Now, you two boys, the married guys here,
Yeah.
and you know who you are, you better write that down.
Right.
Never-
Are they still happily married?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that was a friend of mine that I saw at my 50th reunion last September, and I says, "Are you married?" And he goes, "No, I'm still married," and I can't, he used the B word. And he says, "I should have killed her when I had a chance."
Oh.
And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "I'd been due out for parole this year."
Yeah, right.
Nice way to look at it.
No, we were just fooling around. So, I guess for you guys, we're happy for you, and for Elmo's mom and dad, 61 years. If you ask him, and we've had people call in and say, "Been married 50, 60 years.
Oh, yeah.
What's the key?" And the guys always say, "I do whatever she says," right?
Yeah, pretty
Yes,
much.
dear, yes, dear, yes.
Now, I'll tell you what the key is, okay?
Yeah.
It's a give and take in marriage, all right?
I'm sorry. That slipped.
She gives it and you take it.
No, it's opposite.
Oh.
You go to work and work all day, you come home and you give her the paycheck and she takes it. That's how it works.
She got the gold mine, and I got
Good
the
There you go.
Well, now we're just making fun of marriage, as we do on occasion, because the topic came up. Who brought this up anyway?
You
Oh,
did.
yeah, Elmo brought it up. But
Oh, yeah, Elmo did.
I embellished it a little bit, but I think marriage...
Why are you giving your own disclaimer because you're afraid people are listening and going, "Oh, they don't like marriage over there"?
I'm thinking the wrong
Are you
people are listening to this.
I don't think my wife's listening right
Not
now.
anymore.
Safe.
Marriage is a fine institution, and I always said nobody's ever going to put me in an institution.
See, this is what I like about this show. We have some give and takes. We have some pros and cons,
Right.
of which nothing's making a lot of sense. I may entertain.
Poor
maybe
Marilyn.
not. I have something similar to that I was going to address in High Five Zingers and Doofuses as it pertains to one of the topics. I forget, but I'm not marriage material. Apparently, I have issues.
Well, yeah. You're just coming to this realization now?
Dr. Wayne is in the house.
Yeah, I was going to list a top 10, but therein would take more than
Right,
two
yeah.
2 hours. to
Right.
do this,
We'll do a top 10 reason why Scotty has issues.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd
I'm
be
just,
great.
it's not issues. I'm just a little misunderstood. That's my
Okay.
thing.
You know, that'd be a great contest, Scott.
What?
Scotty has issues.
Scotty's what?
You got to name the issues.
Oh,
Well, be a lot of phone
thank you, little Ricky, for participating in this morning's program. That'll wrap it up for him. Are we going to news pretty quick? here?
Yeah, about 6, 5, 4.
And for this week,
2.
you got paid $18,000.
I know, right? Crazy.
If you just joined us, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the March 3rd, your pick-to-click edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report. It's okay if I use their verbiage, right?
Go ahead and steal Pete's verbiage. I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Well, we're protected litigation-wise, aren't we, Elmo?
We're all under the same roof, yeah.
We're pretty ironclad here if anybody wants to sue us. Besides, pick-to-click isn't copyrighted, I don't think.
No. Not if,
Bankruptcy attorney, don't we?
not if,
Yeah. Bankruptcy attorney is more along our lines. Wait till Mr. Wurtzler comes to work and the place is boarded up. Seized, and the IRS got padlocks on here, seized by the IRS, FBI, and what else is there? The FTA or FDA, whatever those guys are.
It's all
visits. Come on.
Conjugal visits. Hey, yeah. Well, you guys, did you hear Elmo? First thing that comes out is he says, if we have to go to jail, we have a pipeline for conjugal visits.
You do?
Yeah. But let's take these calls first, huh?
Sure.
Good morning, you're in Kenosha today.
Yes, this is Ganga from Libertyville.
My man, Gunga.
Gunga.
I used to be a man, then I got married.
Hey, Gunga, as long as you called, I got a question for you. Serious question. There's this couple in Florida is paying $3,500 for somebody that's qualified to teach their 8-year-old kid about the birds and the bees. And a man of your stature and background was certainly qualified to do that, don't you think?
Certainly, I will do it for $1.280. My shout out to Shirley. I did receive her text message, her sexting pictures. Thank you very much.
Those are pretty good, aren't they?
Oh, they are wonderful. She looks beautiful in a nice red and pink negligee.
Gunga, stop! You're getting me all hot.
Yeah. and you are getting me hot also by talking about all those other things, the birds and the bees.
Hey, you got any long Lennies with you this morning, Gunga?
No, I have not. I've completely sold out.
Oh, we thought you'd drop by and bring some here to the station.
Oh, and I'm getting ready to go to Scottsdale to go watch the Cubbies for a couple of weeks.
Oh, hey, you'll have to call us and let us know. Be our Cubbies of reporting.
I just may do that. However, would you like to talk about my hemorrhoid surgery?
Oh, absolutely. You got pictures? We got a guy that had a colonoscopy and brought in a whole album.
Preparation H Network here.
Yeah.
Oh yes. What I love is the pre draining of the colon by drinking that salty stuff. That is my favorite. In fact, now I do it on a regular basis, at least twice a month.
Yours is salty?
It's the salty stuff, yes. Oh, yes. And I like when my surgeon on the operating table, he likes to play the Rolling Stones.
Does he? Does this guy? Is this the surgeon that works out of a panel truck in a Walmart parking lot in Libertyville?
Lake Forest Hospital. He's a wonderful surgeon, and the music is intense. Does he? My butt puckers just thinking about it.
What do you use? A bunch of Johnny Mathis 8-tracks or what?
I have no idea. He has a lovely sound system in the operating room.
Does he use rubber gloves?
Yes. I will not be touched without rubber gloves. Ask Shirley.
No. Gunga, you misunderstood. The rubber gloves are for you, not for him.
Oh, I touch no men.
Hey, Gunga, have you ever had any of Shirley's apple pie?
I have not. I understand.
You have not
delicious.
tasted it.
No, I'm not as privileged as the great Lenny Palmer. He's a pie eater, from what I understand, from the highest sort.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not familiar with him, Mr. Palmer. What does he do?
Mr. Palmer?
What does he do?
I think he just lounges around and talks about Bill Lawrence's greatness.
Oh, that guy.
Yes. He also talks about Bill Lawrence's peg leg, something along those lines. The leg of Cubby Blue.
Well, so you're still married, huh?
9 times, thank you. Yes, the first 8 were a mistake. They were much too young.
But they're all still living with you, right?
No. I keep them in the garage.
Hey, you're going to have to pay attention to the upcoming top 10 because I think your name is mentioned in here. Let me just check. I think yes, your name is mentioned. You're number 9. Coincidentally.
Your show is going to an all-time low.
What's that?
Your show is now at an all-time low.
Well, we try to, Gunga, here's the deal. We try to set the bar low and taper down from there. We don't want anybody to get too many great expectations of this deal.
That is true. One of these days I'll come up, bring some long Lennies and massage your feet.
He invited me in today, so the show hit an all-time low.
Yeah.
Scott tells me he has massive bunions.
Yeah, I got. You want me to put the pink polish
Yes.
on when you come in?
Oh,
Anything pink.
Oh,
Just
paint your
wear one of
toenails?
those vagina hats, like the women marchers.
well, Gunga, now you're going down.
a dangerous road.
Yeah.
You have no answer for that, do you?
No, other than strap your turban on, I got to get the hell out of here.
Have a wonderful day, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Gunga.
Thank you.
Catch my breath here after that. Maybe this is
Laughing
Gunga's
too
wife calling in. Wait,
Which
is this
one?
Gunga's wife calling in, number 9?
No, well, if she is, she's calling in unavailable.
That's her.
Yeah, that's probably her.
You know, if you're calling in unavailable or, private, we ain't taking your call, so don't waste your time. Anyway, where was I at here? We're broadcasting live, I think, from Studio A at WLIP. Being brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Now, as you can tell from the first hour, we take serious journalism to an all-time high and reporting on local stories, state stories, and spanning the globe. Joining us this morning, our Kenosha connection, Elmo Schneider.
Good morning.
And, of course, the Illinois connection, teen heartthrob Little Ricky Johnson's here.
Hello.
So is this everything you kind of thought it would be?
Hey, it's kind of cool. I like this. Like I say, shades of old days in the radio.
You need more therapy, my
No, hey, remember the Held and Ready song? It's so nice to be insane, nobody asks you to explain. That's what radio broadcasting is all about.
I was not really a Helen Reddy fan.
But I mean, if you're, top 40 rock and roll DJ from back.
You know, I kind of like Gunga's. He goes into this doctor, and of course he names the hospital. Unfortunately, I thought that doctor was working out of a panel truck out of the boathouse parking lot. He's wearing a beach towel for a turban, and he's putting on a little Johnny Mathis 8 tracks, and boy,
Andy Williams.
Andy Williams, he's the one. Of course, like I said, we had a friend of ours that had a colonoscopy and brought in an album. So, this is just like a hop, skip, and it's in the same area, right? I mean, that's where they put Preparation H on, right? You want to know where my doctorate degree is from? And as he is, Spider Ronnie, the love doctor, is out staining somebody's fence.
Without a paintbrush.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of that. And performing as both our engineer and board operator, Wacky Wayne graces our presence. I ask you this every week.
Yeah.
So is there any reason why the Lord should be weeping now?
Yeah, that last conversation with Gunga did the trick. The Lord is currently weeping.
You know, in our disclaimer, we should probably put on that this show might be too intense for listeners under the age of 50.
Yeah.
yeah, under the age of 50, and viewer discretion is advised.
We have a small market. It's like 50 to 57, because anything over 57, we got to worry about heart attacks.
Yeah. And for those who haven't signed on to like us on the Kenosha State Facebook page, better get on with that. See the most interesting postings anywhere on the planet. Elmo does all the news that you ever need to know is on our Facebook page. Of course, the status of this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's, Financial Planning Services, has not been suggested yet. With over 35 years of tax preparation, this is not to be confused with Gunga's preparation.
H.
Yeah. And financial planning experience, let us guide you, as there are many options available still under the new tax code, and for you and your family to save the maximum amount of dollars. Keep it all in your pocket. Call me at 262-652-6767. And if you happen to get lucky, and
you don't know anything about that, do you?
Getting lucky? No, it's been a number of years.
Yeah.
Old Scotty Boy's been lucky. We're going to send you a $20 Boathouse gift card. Well, no, here, watch this. Here's the cue. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Well, do you?
No, don't we have that drop?
Which punk? Which drop?
In all the excitement.
Don't you feel in all the excitement?
I forgot how many
I thought we had that.
What?
Never mind.
No. We don't have any feeling lucky, punk.
I thought we did.
No.
Clint Eastwood.
No.
That's not a phone call from
No,
me.
you don't feel lucky.
Okay. All right, here you go, Gunga. This is for you. Written in her home office on the deck of the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category. These are the top 10 ways to improve the ratings of the Kenosha Today Show. Number 10, more on-air patter about transgenders, degenerates, and perverts. Number 9, have Gunga explain the proper way to wear a turban in public. Number 8, hire Captain Mike as our new weather bunny. Number 7, Let Irish Ruth sing the national anthem with Fergie. Now that'll bring the house down.
Oh, God.
Number 6. Try appealing more to Amish listeners by smashing clipboards on the floor with Anthony Kennedy. Number 5. In-depth stories about the use of superglue while stalking. Number 4. Let the Russians handle all our email correspondence. Number 3. Hard-hitting exposés detailing the corruption in the trolley industry. Number 2. Once a month, have Sheriff Beth do a shoplifting and car chase demonstration. Number 1, way to improve the ratings on the Kenosha Today Show, have the host take every Saturday morning off. I'm getting better. I strung that out.
Oh, yeah, you did good. Better pacing.
Yeah, I said better pacing. See, I got to take my time and.
Felt like I was on the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah, right. At any rate, we're talking about
Yeah.
a number of issues here this morning. Hey, here's this is not good news for you married guys. Here's a Southern Methodist University professor, a young gal, probably looks like she's in her early 30s, researches the telltale signs of lying. Okay. Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Yeah, you think that's funny?
He does think that's funny.
We got 5 guys laughing and 1.4 million are holding their stomachs.
They're like, what the heck a doodle, man?
Well, we haven't called you. Just want to make sure you're still listening.
I mean, I like number 1. I think that's definitely the best way to improve it.
Transgenders, degenerates, and perverts?
No, he said number 1, the host take every Saturday off.
Yeah.
Sorry, a
I was
9
going
in
to
a...
suggest actually take some of that big Scott Barter money and buy some joke writers, but, you know, hey.
As long as I have your name to deal with, I don't need a joke writer. I think you would, in all seriousness, I think you would be very appealing to Amish listeners and show them how to smash a clipboard on the floor. You seem to... What kind of world are we living in, Anthony?
You know what I just did? I just paid for my food at the drive-in and drove out at the drive-thru and drove off without it.
And to think you're an alderman voting on a $70 million budget.
I'm looking at the guys like running behind me trying to get me to stop. I'm like, what's the problem?
And here's the real funny part. You're in the drive-thru at the bank. Well,
who needs humor when you have me?
Cashed your check and left the money.
So what did you order?
Actually, the best breakfast sandwich in fast food history, baby.
You know, when you said these guys, you said one guy. To bring your order out, it probably was 6 guys with double bags coming out.
A couple of Himalayan Sherpas.
Right? That's the low-hanging fruit there, Scott Barter.
Yeah.
Come on.
He always reaches for the low
More.
fruit.
Yeah, I'm fat. I got it.
Hey, you want a second opinion? You're ugly too. Sorry, Anthony put it right there in front of me, and I couldn't help that.
Hey, after listening to this show because of court-mandated torture treatment, I'm come to learn the humor on this show, or the lack thereof. So.
Yeah. Well, that's why they have you wear a leg monitor.
Hey, they could prove nothing, okay? I don't have to wear it anymore.
Hey, I started to read this as long as you got a second here and you called us. This gal's doing some research, the telltale signs of lying, and you being in politics, this would fit right in up your old category here. How do you know?
I'm not smart enough to lie. I'm not smart enough to lie. I got to tell everyone the same thing because I'm not smart enough to tell you one thing and tell someone else a different thing and tell someone else a third thing. I'm just not that smart.
So
man.
when you get home at midnight and you tell your girlfriend and or your wife, whichever she might be, that you had a council meeting that night, and unfortunately the council meeting was the week before. How do you get your way through that? Aha, Anthony.
Well, see, that's actually happened. We have this really funny thing where we do council first and third Mondays, right?
Yeah.
But if there's 5 Mondays in a month, then our committee meetings are off for the 5th Monday. So I've shown up at council on the 4th Monday when it's been 5 Mondays and I've been the only one there. I'm like, oh.
Maybe you get something done this time.
And then if it falls on a holiday, then we move it to Wednesday. And not, major holidays I got, but, President's Day? Come on, guys.
So, in other words, you're not actually lying to your girlfriend. You're just playing stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
He said he's not smart enough to lie.
If I'm ever early, seriously, if I'm ever early for something, it's usually because I messed it up. And I remember one time I was at TG's, and I got there for a meeting.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out. I've seen you at TG's with a whole line of platter and gravy and meatloaf all the way down the bar. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
With that.
It's all right.
And so I get there, and it's like 11 o'clock. 11:15 comes, person doesn't show up. 11:30, person doesn't show up. So I call him. I'm like, hey, don't we have a meeting today? Where are you? He's like, yeah, we have a meeting at TG's tomorrow.
Boy, it's amazing anything in our city gets done. But at least your heart and your stomach are in the right place. Sorry.
Well, sometimes they're not in the right place, so there's no meeting that day.
This has got to be the all-time great Anthony Kennedy, one of our very fine aldermen, going through the drive-through at McDonald's, thinking he was making a withdrawal from his bank drive.
He didn't say McDonald's.
I'm sorry, it was drive-through. And
the
drives
breakfast
off.
sandwich at McDonald's is good, but the breakfast sandwich at this place is way better.
So you're hanging on my every word, and you drive off, and it takes 6 guys. I just want to recap this so our listeners. So 6 guys to chase you down.
As much as you exaggerate, you would think that the steaks at Barter Manor would be a lot bigger than the 3-ounce fillets that you cut. Since you have such a big imagination, since you exaggerate everything else, I'm wondering how big those steaks really are, man.
Well, they're about 4 ounce, unless I take out the grizzle. But
Anthony, this has never happened to Uncle Scotty at the drive-through liquor store.
So, Anthony, Anthony, I feel your pain.
Oh my God, it's actually funny things on the on your show. Go figure that.
Happens every now and again.
Yeah, every now and again.
Good day, gentlemen.
See it, Anthony.
Hey, how about this? He actually said goodbye to us, and we didn't have to hang up on him.
So he didn't hang up on you. Yeah.
And you wonder why we get hate mail. Boy, that's got to be a classic when the word gets out that he goes through the drive-through and listening to us, hanging on our every word, and he goes off without his goodies.
So entertained.
I'm waiting for you, big boy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for...
Oh,
I guess not.
Roll the dice.
High technology.
No, it's all gone.
It's all gone?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Now, I was getting back to this about verbal behavior and how can you tell someone's lying. Well, just live with Anthony Kennedy. And you can figure that out. No, but for you guys, you can tell when your wife is lying, can't you?
They don't look you straight in the eye.
And lie right to you?
Yeah.
I remember when my daughters were in their teenage and they would try to challenge me coming up with some wild story why they were late or something. I said, you know what? My dad, their grandpa, tried that, or I tried that to my dad. He wouldn't even give you, the judge, he wouldn't give you a 3 on originality with that, that business. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give you 10 minutes, go in your room and come up with something better, and we'll see how creative you can be. But for you married guys, I can understand, so you're a little late and maybe you were someplace where you probably shouldn't have been. That's never happened to you, right, Little Ricky?
Never.
Being a former teen heartthrob?
I show up late all the time. Yeah, never.
What? I'm not late.
Okay.
Scotty's somewhat premature. But...
I'm a little premature.
Yeah.
I told you I got issues.
Yeah. One of many.
Did you write that down?
I can tell you're lying right now because according to this study, you're lying. I can tell you.
Body language.
What? 1 out of 4 people lie, so I got to be that 4th guy.
Well, it says here, did another gal from Southern Methodist University, and apparently guess where she did her study? Antioch, Illinois.
Oh.
Yay!
Or is it Antioch, Ohio?
Or Antioch,
California. There you go, Wayne.
Yeah.
High stakes situation. Of course, you know what? They could remember the O.J. Simpson trial. He never lied. He was just out looking for the real killers, right? He never did that.
No.
At 30 miles an hour in a Bronco?
If it doesn't fit, you can't convict, right?
If you can, yeah.
You
must have quit.
Yeah.
Thought you
If
said,
it
yeah,
doesn't
That's what it was.
You must have quit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Close.
anybody wants to weigh in on how to tell if somebody, if they're lying, 262-694-1050. Anybody wants to play Stump the Chumps? I'm a little late because I put all my energy in talking to little Anthony Kennedy. Hey, look, boys and girls, the clock on the wall says it's 11:25. Anybody knows what that means? It's time for all our listeners to strut their stuff and try to stump the chumps. Now, if you're successful in stumping the chumps, you win a $15 gift certificate to the Cabin Fever, home to Benny the Backyard Beaver, and it's located at 8249 South Sharon Road here in Kenosha. Or you can take door number 2 like little Ricky here did.
Let me recommend that. And these guys are great.
And get the... You read that just like I wrote it for you.
Checking the mail?
And get the high honor and privilege of sitting here with us for an hour or two. And this is a huge opportunity for our audience to bring something of intelligence, sophistication.
I'm sorry I failed you.
Yeah. Sorry, my Lord, I have sinned. Right?
Yes, right.
Yes.
And prove to the Kenosha Nation that we are barely smarter than a 5th grader. And we will take your trivia question or a song title. And the first caller to successfully stump the Kenosha Today Chumps, which consists this morning of Little Ricky, Elmo, Wacky Wayne, and myself. And the phone lines are clear. Oh, we have...
Yeah, we got a call. You want to do it?
Son of a gun, I didn't want to give away $15. All right, good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hey, I want to stump the chumps.
Yeah, I do, huh? Who's this, George?
Hi, George.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Hi, George.
Hey, little Ricky there yet?
Yeah, little Ricky.
Still here.
All right, George.
Oh, I'm going to stump the chumps.
Okay, what is this a trivia question?
Well, you can say it's a musical question.
Okay. Let me ask you again. Is this a musical question?
What was the name of,
Go ahead.
What was the name of Tom Petty's band before they became the Heartbreakers?
The Heart Wrenchers.
I thought it was, you know,
The Fart Knocker.
Billy Goat and the Four Milkers comes to mind. But
No.
what was it? All right, we give up, I guess.
Mudcrutch.
We knew that.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I was
almost
telling
said
him that, exactly.
What was it? Mudcrux?
Mudcrutch.
Yeah.
That's what I almost said. Mudcrotch. That's what he said. Can't even cheat at my own game here.
How can you tell someone is lying?
Yeah.
All
right.
right. There's another picture for you.
Well, George, apparently you have successfully stumped the chumps this morning, and I couldn't even cheat or lie out of my way out of this. So, what would you like? Just to be...
I'd like to come out to the studio and sit in with you guys.
I think we're pretty well booked to the end of the year. I'll tell you what, George, in all fairness, I will, off the air, Wacky Wayne's going to get your name, and you have an email? George?
No, I don't.
Okay, that means you don't have a computer either, probably, right?
What's email?
You're right, I don't.
Okay. All right, but if you give him your address and phone number, I'll get a hold of you, and we'll see if we can work something out.
All right, that'll work for me.
Do you have a phone, or are you just calling from a corner?
Payphone.
The payphone down at Perini's, Lou Perini's.
No, I got a phone.
Hey, Mal, here's my other question to you. What are you a Tom Petty fan? Tom Petty fan?
Was that a Freudian slip or what?
It says I'm at the time of the day when my mouth gets
I've
a little
always been a Tom Petty fan.
Okay. So do you have all his albums?
Yep.
You have the Mudcrotch album?
That's the one I don't have. I'm trying to get.
Oh, the only one you don't have, and you try to scam me for $15. All right, George. Well, you've been a delight. Off the air, I'll get this, and since you want to run the risk and come with us, I guess. Are you in therapy?
No.
Well, you might
It'll
want
help.
to. You might want to
It'll
get
help.
some. All right, off the air. He's going to. Huh? I'm sorry. What?
No, never mind.
Okay. All right, off the air. Wacky Wayne's going to get this from me, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, don't go away. All right.
No.
I think he's going back to listen to his Mudcrotch album. That's a great album. Let me tell you, I've heard it.
It's on Amazon for about $1.99.
$1.99. It was there.
Oh, I got to read this. KRS Painting Corporation, specializing in commercial, residential, both interior and exterior. Also, new construction painting and staining of all types, big or small. We paint it all with over 30 years of experience. Call Ron for a free estimate at 262-658-5029. I can read.
His own fur-lined handcuffs, too.
Yeah. And, of course, Kenosha City Nation welcomes Pete's Place, soon to be known as the Union Park Tavern, located at 4528th Avenue, right across the street west of Union Park. Pete's Place is the home of the Friday Night Fish Fry, offering a number of fantastic fish dinners, serving only on Fridays from 3 to 9 p.m., and now on Saturdays also from 3 to 9 p.m. This is going to make us. This is going to put us in Hollywood.
The
Radio Hall of Fame beckons for this.
I'm sorry I set you up.
George. Also on Saturdays from 3 to 9 p.m., it's Roasted Chicken Night, offering a variety of chicken dinners. Also, all day and night on Tuesdays is pasties.
And soup.
And soup. And
Pasties?
Pasties, pasties.
I'm liking
Pasties
I'm
and
liking
soup.
pasties. What do you think, Wayne?
It's the other one.
It's not the right one. I'm not interested.
I got soup right.
Right.
Come on.
Somehow I don't think I want
Cut me some
pasties
slack.
and soup.
What I'm having trouble getting through this promo is
I know.
I'm thinking of George joining us.
Right. I know.
And
Do you want to take a break and come back to this promo after?
no, let me finish this. Let me
Okay.
finish this.
Get through it.
And then stop in on Sunday mornings from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for their special breakfast menu, and you can also call the special Elmo carryout hotline 262-652-0978. Boy, all we need now is are we out of contest that I can? Because otherwise,
No, you're good.
I got the
Yeah,
secret
you
word.
still got the secret
Irish
word.
Ruth could call in.
Well,
and win the
yeah.
secret
Oh,
word.
yes, yeah.
Oh, no, we're just missing that.
I got to
Yeah.
tell you, you want to see somebody lie. Right here. I couldn't even lie to George, but he
Right.
offered to come in here. So
You know, we were at a production meeting, and I mentioned that for a show topic. We're just
what was that?
liars. The whole thing, the whole show, should just call in with your best lie.
Oh man, I don't know, Elmo. I don't know about you, but I feel a little squirmish on that deal. I mean, I just misunderstood.
You have to have the litigation lawyers ready for that.
Yeah,
one.
Wayne, you get that.
Yeah, I'll get the hate mail ready. Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait.
Let's. It's really bad when they send me hate mail and it's postage due. Then
Right.
you know
Right. Now you know you're in trouble.
All right. Let's take our last break and then we'll wind this baby up.
All right.
The week.
Weekly report coming to you live and streaming worldwide to over 1.4 million listeners here on AM 1050 WIP.
The trolley got a flat tire, by the way. You didn't see that on the way in?
You guys don't have a trolley system in Antioch, do you?
No, we don't.
Do you want one?
No, we're good.
No, we're good.
We're okay.
We're all
We're
right.
being brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Our this morning's cast of characters, Elmo is here.
Good morning.
And, of course, teen heartthrob Little Ricky Johnson is here, hanging on.
Hello, Scott.
What's your wife's name?
Terry, T-E-R-I, one I.
We didn't ask for spelling.
Well,
we don't care how to spell it.
She always says that whenever we go there somewhere. It's T-E-R-I, one I.
So Sherry's her name?
Terry, T. it's the mud crotch.
Yeah. She's probably out on Amazon or over to, getting it, to Terry. My word to you is you gave us the man, we're going to give you back the boy. You'll notice a distinct, he will be honest, truthful, for the most part, and he will be much more mature and trying to build up your act. And
She knows better.
And from the galaxy called Spider Dome. Oh, no, he's not here.
He went back to the dome.
He's
Yeah.
staying in the fence without a brush.
Yeah, and along with our engineer board operator, who's going to be, by the way, the face of WIP this afternoon at the Kenosha Expo,
It's true.
called the Kenosha No Show.
It is. There's tons of people there. I was there last year.
How is it that you got selected? Did you lose a bet or a straw?
Yeah, I just get
draw
the shortest
short
straw. Yeah. Everybody else had something better to do.
All these Kenosha people, now you're going to have to be patient with them because when they see who you are, all the questions about roadkill is going to come up. I mean,
Actually, last year it was Shirley, and then people that didn't like Lou. I don't know why.
So you said the place was packed.
Lou's a nice guy. He was sitting there not too far away. There were a handful of people that asked about Lou.
No, just keep my name out of it.
Oh, no.
Hey, by the way, my advice is if I would leave your car backed up to the field house at Parkside, keep the engine running.
Keep the engine running.
Just in case.
Just in case? Okay.
If you happen to miss our show today, that doesn't make any sense. If you happen to miss the show, that show's almost over.
I know, right? You're going to miss the show today.
Yeah.
You're only catching the last 20 minutes. If you missed it.
Well, thanks for coming.
Too late now.
You can tune in tomorrow at noon. You got to go back tomorrow, too? Or just
just today.
Just a Saturday guy.
Yeah.
Status of the Secret Word Challenge to win a $20 Boathouse gift card from Barter's Financial Planning is still yet to be named. You have to come up with when we get to about 5-2, a clue.
Okay.
And, of course, your wife just texts me. Why does she keep texting me? She says you have no clue. Especially at midnight. That gets a little annoying.
I told her to turn her phone off when we went to bed.
Yeah. Well, she obviously turned everything off, too. Anyway, you can still call us 262-652-6767. Schedule a free financial planning consultation and put yourself in a position to take advantage of the new tax code. Okay. And now, boys and girls, it's time for this week's special editorial segment, High Five, Zingers, and Doofuses. This morning's headliner is As the Wiener...
Oh, yeah, I was a little early. Sorry.
Stop. Hang on.
Yeah.
This morning's headliner is As the Wiener Turns, in reference to Oscar, which is tomorrow.
Because the Oscars are tomorrow.
Like the sands in the hourglass in the days of our lives. Okay, this week's high five goes to the University of Wisconsin men's Parkside's men's baseball team for signing up 12-year-old Leo Montemuro, allowing him to be part of the teams this spring. And unfortunately, young Leo has recently been diagnosed with a stage 4 type of cancer, whose name has got too many letters for Uncle Scotty to pronounce. And I really applaud the sports teams who get involved in situations like this because it shows that they have already realized that there is much more to life than winning or losing a sports game, and that being the game of life itself. So to Leo and the Parkside Rangers men's baseball team, we wish you all the best this spring. Now, my zinger goes to City Public Works Director Shelley in over her head Billingsley. Keep the hate mail open.
Yeah, don't worry.
For waiting until recently to send out bids to construct a woman's bathroom at Simmons Field. To that we say, poppycock. This project was approved in the city's capital improvement budget back in November, and so now what happens is, because of the lateness, only one contractor, and that being Wonderful Rash Construction, submitted a bid. And after the debacle at the Washington Park Crack-A-Dome and dealing with the city's genius engineering department, I predict that it will only take 3 times to redo this project and that it should be completed just in time for the opening of the 2020 season.
There'll be a long waiting line there.
Yeah. And this week's Doofus Award goes to this year's Winter Olympic Games for dragging this out for the better part of 2 weeks. This went on for so long, it made my hair hurt so bad, I was actually thinking of getting married again. Did I say? Who wrote this? Who writes this stuff? What's that about? Now, on the good side of this, some of these gals from Sylvania's curling team were really hot. Seeing young chubby ladies with hair under their armpits and mustaches was a definite turn-on for the intense Olympic viewer, for which I obviously am one.
Step up for you.
And so now it's back to my lonely, sorry-ass life of watching exciting Major League Baseball with guys spitting and scratching their crotches for the next 7 months. Harry, I think I'm having the big one. I'm coming to join you. And there you have it, folks. As the Oscar turns for this Saturday, March 3rd, it's the Wiener turns. I'm Scotty Barter, and I approve this message.
Yes.
I got to read my last sponsor here with the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. Located at 4917 7th Avenue, open Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m., featuring weekly lunch and dinner specials, along with reduced prices during the happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. on Mondays through Fridays. Hey, Elmo, we got to go to one of those sometime, huh? Sometime. We only go down there on days ending with Y, so it's not like we're a bunch of lushes.
Is that when your production meetings take place? I got to come to one of those. That'd be fun.
Bring lots of money.
Okay.
And tell your wife, this would be a time to lie and say, you ain't coming home.
Just keep the pictures coming.
And have you ever had a Long Island iced tea?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, you're in good. you're qualified. They also feature 30 specialty beers on tap and enjoy a beautiful waterfront view and stop in for their big Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast and Bloody Mary specials beginning at 7 a.m. until noon. And if you're planning a party or a banquet, such as a funeral lunch, call Joyce and at 262-654-9922, or you can find them on the web at theboathousekenosha.com. You know what I could do? I could do a twofer and have Joyce plan my wedding at noon, and at 3 do my funeral lunch.
Yeah.
On the same day.
Done and done.
Done and done. I think give me a discount.
Right.
More Mastatoli.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's kind of weird, though. I mean, who would want to get married and die in the same day? Probably everybody got married. You know, my dad told me.
Does it happen all the time?
Yeah, my dad told me. He said, Scotty boy, he says, always get married in the morning because that way if it don't work out, you don't waste the whole day.
Right.
Makes perfect
Good call.
sense.
Yeah.
And did I listen to him?
No.
Anyway, they have specials going on through March 7th at the Boathouse. Fried walleye fingers, tater skins, fried green beans, and pig wings.
Do walleyes have fingers?
They do on this menu.
Okay.
They just continued the walleye toast.
Okay.
It's a delicacy. They gave it up for Lent. Took it off the menu. Pig wings. See, that's something you guys don't have in Antioch.
No,
Pig
we
wings.
don't.
And, of course, they have dessert, bread pudding instead of call for me.
Yeah, why not? No, they never actually call for you. They just want to talk on the air.
Oh, that's probably best we see it that way.
Yeah.
Good morning on Kenosha today.
Oh, all I can say is, wow, what a show. Rick, you did a terrific job.
Thank you, Shirley.
What do you mean, Rick? Guy floats in here for a couple hours and right away.
Wow. and I can't wait. George is coming in by you guys. Oh, boy.
Well, I wouldn't go penciling that in right away.
I think they're discussing that.
Yeah, we're negotiating.
He's got to find the Mud Duck album first.
Now, I have a question, Shirley. We were talking about the new women's bathroom at Simmons Field before. And this is a true line issued by my high school girlfriend's mother. And I wonder if you ever heard this thing, which is, how did you get the cockleburrs in your panties? That ever happened to you?
This is why Elmo was voted most congeniality in his senior year.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow.
Voted most to succeed.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hey, by the way,
boy.
Gunga's looking for you. I guess he's
Yeah, I hear that. Oh, I love Gunga.
well, obviously you do. I think he's a little love starved at this point.
Yeah.
And you know what he told us off the air? That he went and got his and her turbans for you to wear.
Oh, boy.
So you got that to look forward to.
Great.
He's working on wife number 9.
Yeah.
I know. I just got to tell you guys, I laughed the whole 2 hours. Oh, my gosh. You just make my day.
Yeah. Well, call up Anthony
laughing.
Kennedy and tell him.
Don't forget, at 2 o'clock, Terry Havel is back with rock and roll.
It's true.
True, yes.
Yeah, we
Oh,
don't
boy.
care about
And
that. Let him promote his own show.
Terry Havel,
All
too.
right, Shirley. Well, we don't promote other people's shows. Let them do that.
And Rick, you did a terrific job.
Thank you, Shirley.
That's a good time.
Well, I'm sure his whole career is based on your opinion of what.
Yeah, and his wife Terry, what a sweetheart. Oh, she's a wonderful woman.
Are you done?
Yeah, I
There's
guess
too much warm fuzzy going on here, Shirley.
But I better not.
This is going against every grain that we have here. All this warm and fuzzy
talk.
talk.
You on your show. Oh my God!
Well, call us and tell us we suck or something.
Hilarious.
Make you feel at home.
Hilarious. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Have
Thanks,
a
Shirley.
good rest of the day.
You too, dear.
Bye, Shirley.
I don't know.
Bye-bye.
You could top this though.
Carefully.
Except for Terry Havel.
You ain't seen nothing yet, baby.
I'm
All right.
waiting. I'm waiting.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Here's an article. And we were going to get to some serious news like, the
We
Trump
were?
and the stock market and that. But since we kind of got off the track a little bit.
What else is new? There was a squirrel.
That was a squirrel. Here's a lady that was fired for eating company property. This is probably what happened.
You want to take this call? Let's skip this whole company property thing.
Well, this has to do with Anthony Kennedy, so yeah.
Oh, yeah,
This-
we probably
this
don't
is
want to
right
talk
there.
to No,
All right. Well, I won't say the company, but good morning on Kenosha today.
It's Albert Schmutz. Good morning.
did I know that?
Morning, Ruth.
Do I hear confetti falling through the air?
Yes, something
Shotgun
a lot like
blast
that.
going through the wall.
Is it something to celebrate about?
There's always something to celebrate.
When you call us,
Yeah.
we just perk right up. Swing.
You are wise men.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
And wise.
How are the stars
Learned
aligned today, Ruth?
The stars?
Yeah. How are the stars
How are
aligned
they
in your
starting
world?
to? Yeah, how are they aligned?
In your world.
They're glowing.
Are you still dating George Custer?
Didn't he die?
He got better.
No, they had Mariano's had a contest that started on their anniversary on February 9th for 2 tickets to Love Never Dies.
And nobody showed up.
$1,500 Steinhaus gift card, $500 Mariano, a dinner.
And this was in
all
honor
kinds
of what?
really great-
Wait a minute. This was in honor of what?
It's in honor of the anniversary of George and Libby Armstrong Custer.
Well, what's the correlation between
contest-
them? And didn't he go? Wasn't it? He didn't do real well at that Little Bighorn deal, did he?
No, but
Except for his snappy haircut that he got.
He left a child. He left a child with the daughter of an Indian chief, her name means "blame the woman," and that little kid
Absolutely.
Was called a little different.
Did they talk about his bastard son called Captain Mike?
Don't do that to Captain Mike. Please, please. All I know is I want to tell you that last weekend I went to the Chinese New Year's parade in Chicago.
Obviously.
And Southside, thousands of people.
I see.
Sea of Red. It was really
Sea of Red.
incredible.
Is that because they're Chinese
Yeah.
or what? Oh. What?
No, that's a color for fortune, for the New Year, for the Chinese New Year.
This is we're going. We're going to come up and join us for the Year of the Idiot celebration next week. We want you to sing the anthem.
How many people do you know who qualify? Everybody raise their hand.
Well, 1.4 million. They listen.
Well, I think we could have better parades than that. I'm still wishing for a real St. Patrick's Day parade in Kenosha.
Hey, by the way, Dennis called. I talked to him this week. You're not going to take him behind the in the alley and beat the tar out of him this year, are you? Like you threatened to do last year.
I told you I'd leave no witnesses.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad you're not coming in here.
He's been remarkably blessed.
Who?
He's been remarkably blessed. So
Who is?
Your friend, your fellow that calls in with good vibes and good comments.
Exactly. So why would you take him out in the alleyway and beat the crap out of him?
Well, I didn't say I would. I just said I leave no witnesses.
Well, that's.
I didn't say I would.
Boy,
Would've,
Ruth,
could've, and should've.
you're just talking in circles here. Something that
Well,
you have
would've,
never done on
could've,
radio
and
before.
should've.
Blessed or endowed.
Well, I could be changing my mind. It's a woman's prerogative.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Did you
don't
say
have
something?
Anything to say? You're telling me you have absolutely nothing to say now at that. Wow.
I didn't know what you were. You do her, Marilyn. She calls up a couple of weeks ago, and she can't make heads or tails of what the show's about. And thank you for pouring more gas on this fire. All right, I know you got to go, right?
Goodbye. Yes, thank you.
Bye.
That's better her hanging up than we hanging up on her. Doesn't look good when we hang up on people call it. Anyway, I started to say that this gal was fired for eating company property, and she can't get unemployment comp. Now, this gal's name was Margaret, and she was fired for eating company property. Now, what the deal is, this was in Pittsburgh. Huh? What did she eat? Well, she was working in a fast food place, similar to what little Anthony called it. And what she did was she was tasting the food before serving it to customers. That was her claim. And they said she was stealing the food, eating it. You know, this brings up another, not that the squirrel's kind of going off the track here.
Yeah, squirrel.
What if Anthony Kennedy worked in a fast food?
You read my mind, buddy.
He'd get fired and put on leg irons. or better yet, you got to visualize this. Now, the guy pulls up, I pull up, for example, to his drive-thru.
Sure.
Pay him for the stuff, and he's back there making my stuff, and so I pull away, because I'm listening to some fancy WLIP radio show.
Right.
And here comes little Anthony running out the door with my food. Uncle Scotty, I got your burger. Anyway, so the deal is she can't get unemployment, and they've fired her for being dishonest. And her contention is a little different. And, it's for this reason, little Ricky, I don't know if you know this, Elmo knows this, but he and we are hired at the boathouse as samplers.
That's a good gig.
That's our title, and so we don't let anybody have a beer, a vodka, or a Long Island unless we sample it first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's why they got rid of the walleye toes.
The walleye toes, yeah. So anyway, just brought that up. We're winding down. Do you have
was she wanting to be somebody else by stealing stuff?
You're asking me to figure out what's in Irish Ruth's head?
Lost for days.
To have this big celebration for General Custer and Libby, and you're asking me that? I have no idea.
Yeah, she was wanting to be somebody else, thinking that she could be somebody else.
She told me she dated Custer before he married Libby. They were soulmates, yeah. I'm not making that up. I got it. Yeah. So anyway, what's the secret word hint? Did you come up with something?
He just gave it to you.
I just gave it to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was wanting to be somebody else.
Oh. Hello.
Oh.
That's the secret word. 262-694-1050.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Anybody got a shotgun? Shoot that squirrel.
Anyway, I got one more blockbuster story here. Kenosha woman defecates in pants to hide drugs during arrest. We might as well end with a big story, right?
Was that a part of the matter?
No. This is in Texas. Police say a Texas woman attempted to hide evidence during arrest by defecating in her pants and using to conceal drugs.
Is this a stinky story?
This is right here.
All right.
I got this on Elmo's one of his fancy outings he gives me. And this is 55 miles south of Dallas, and they were investigating a report of a theft at a grocery store, and they attempted to subdue a female suspect and take her into custody. They put her in the back of a police cruiser and say she intentionally defecated in her pants and then hit a crack pipe and 3 grams of crack cocaine and a Valentine's card.
And how would you?
What says I love you more than that, huh?
How would you like to be the officer that had to search her?
I have been there and done that. No wonder I don't get Valentine. I only got one Valentine card this year. But how would you like to be the officer to have to go through all that stuff and book her on charges of tampering with evidence and possession of a controlled substance? Boy,
I'd like to see what that charge was.
Takes all kinds.
Crack cocaine and a Valentine's card. Boy, that's creativity.
Yeah.
When you do that, that's called thinking on your feet, or when they say pinching off a loaf. This is what
They're not playing around.
They're not playing around.
No.
Only in Texas. So
Not the gift, it's the thought that
it's the thought that counts. It's not
The gift that keeps giving.
Yes. And how do they know she intentionally did this? I mean, she could have been scared.
Yeah.
Like some of those that use the facilities at Barter Manor, and they get scared and they go in and they poop. What are you gonna do? I don't go calling the cops.
Right.
One gal comes over and says, I have to bring her 6 rolls of toilet paper. And I says, is this going to last you till morning, or, Well, obviously, nobody had won the secret word. And the secret word today is pretending. Kind of love what we were doing here this morning,
Yes.
pretending we were having a radio show. And so, anyway, was it everything you thought it was, little Ricky?
Absolutely. This was a blast.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I don't think your wife's going to
I don't know if our audience did, but I did.
I don't think your wife's going to be pleased with
Shirley
you.
did.
Probably not.
He's the only one that listens.
First time she got mad at you all year, huh? And I want to thank the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, Barter's Financial Planning Services, Kenosha's for Open Honest Government, Charlie V's Kids for